King Richard is a 2021 American biographical drama film directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green and written by Zach Balin. It follows the life of Richard Williams, the father and coach of famed tennis players Venus and Serena Williams, who served as executive producers of the film. It stars Will Smith in the title role, with Anjanou Ellis, Sanaya Sidney, Demi Singleton, Tony Goldwyn and John Bernthal. It premiered at the 48th Telluride Film Festival on September 2, 2021, and was theatrically released on November 19, 2021 by Warner Bros. Pictures and on the HBO Max streaming service. It has grossed $30 million at the box office and received positive reviews, with praise for the performances of Smith, Ellis and Sidney. It was named one of the best films of 2021 by the American Film Institute and the National Board of Review. The latter also awarded Best Actor to Smith and Best Supporting Actress to Ellis. It earned 6 nominations at the 94th Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It earned 7 nominations at the 53rd NAACP Image Awards, including Outstanding Motion Picture. It earned 6 nominations at the 27th Critics' Choice Awards, including Best Picture, and 4 nominations at the 79th Golden Globe Awards, including Best Motion Picture, Drama, winning Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama for Smith. Plot: Richard Williams lives in Compton, California with his wife Brandy, his 3 stepdaughters, and his 2 daughters, Venus and Serena. Richard aspires to turn Venus and Serena into professional tennis players. He has prepared a plan for success since before they were born. Richard and Brandy coach Venus and Serena on a daily basis, while also working as a security guard and a nurse, respectively. Richard works tirelessly to find a professional coach for the girls, creating brochures and videotapes to advertise their skills, but has not had success. One day, Richard takes the girls to see Coach Paul Cohen, who is in the middle of practicing with John McEnroe and Pete Sampras. Despite his initial reservations, he agrees to watch the girls practice, and is impressed. However, the Williamses cannot afford professional coaching, and Paul refuses to coach both girls for free. He selects Venus to receive his coaching, while Serena continues to practice with Brandy. Paul encourages Venus to participate in juniors tournaments. She quickly finds success, but Richard stresses to Venus and her sisters to remain humble despite their success. At one of Venus's tournaments, Serena also signs up to play, unbeknownst to Richard. As both girls continue to succeed, the family are treated as outsiders among the predominantly white, upper-class competition. Richard meets with high-profile agents, but, fearing that his daughters will be taken advantage of, pulls them out of the junior circuit entirely. Paul warns him that his decision will destroy the girls' chances to turn pro, but Richard stands firm, firing Paul as coach. Coach Rick Machi travels to California to see the girls play. Impressed, he takes the girls on, and the family relocates to Florida to train at his facility. Richard surprises Rick by reiterating that the girls will not play juniors, instead training and attending school like normal children. In the ensuing 3 years, questions arise from the media and from Rick about Richard's strategy with the girls and his desire for media exposure. Venus tells Rick that she wants to turn pro. Richard reluctantly agrees, but later reneges, worrying that she will suffer a similar fate to Rick's pupil Jennifer Capriati, who is allegedly suffering from burnout and has been arrested for drug possession. The decision strains Richard's relationships with Venus, Brandy, and Rick. After an argument with Brandy, he reconciles with Venus, agreeing to let her play in the upcoming Bank of the West Classic in Oakland, California. Before the tournament, the family meets with a Nike executive, who offers them a major sponsorship deal worth $3 million. Rick urges them to accept, but the family collectively agrees to decline, believing that once Venus begins to play she will attract more lucrative offers. Venus initially struggles in her first professional match against Sean Stafford, but eventually triumphs. She comes in as a heavy underdog in her next match against top-seeded Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. Venus takes the first set and leads in the second before Vicario takes an extended bathroom break, an apparent act of gamesmanship. Vicario recovers to win the second set and the match. Richard and Brandy comfort a dejected Venus, telling her to be proud. As the family leaves the stadium, a large crowd of supporters is waiting to cheer her on, and Rick tells Richard that several major shoe companies are anxious to meet with Venus. An epilogue reveals that 9 months later, at the age of 15, Venus would sign a contract with Reebok for $12 million, equivalent to $21 million in 2020. She would go on to win Wimbledon 5 times and become the first African American woman to be ranked number 1 in the world during the Open era. Serena, who joined Venus as a professional 2 years later, would become a 23-time Grand Slam champion and considered perhaps the greatest player in tennis history, just as Richard predicted. Cast Ian Broomfield was the body double for select scenes of Venus-Williams matches. The project was announced in March 2019 with Will Smith set to play Williams, from Zach Balin's screenplay. Warner Brothers was the successful bidder for the film. Reynaldo Marcus Green signed as director in June. In January 2020, Demi Singleton and Sanaya Sidney were cast as Serena and Venus, and Ingenue Ellis as their mother Oracene Price. John Bernthal also entered negotiations to play Rick Machi. In February, Liev Schreiber and Susie Abromit, uncredited in the final film, joined the cast, and in March, Dylan McDermott, Katrina Begin and Judith Chapman. Principal photography began in January 2020 in Los Angeles. According to the California Film Commission, the production spent $35.6 million in the state, with $7.5 million returned in tax credits. In March 2020, filming was halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In October 2020, Tony Goldwyn joined the cast, replacing Schreiber, who dropped out due to a scheduling conflict as a result of the pandemic. Filming resumed later that month. Will Smith reportedly received $40 million for his role. When production concluded, he reportedly gave his co-stars a nice bonus, via checks, due to the decision to release the film in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously, on top of the compensation already received from the studio. The film features the original song, Be Alive, by Beyoncé, released on November 12, 2021. The film premiered at the Telluride Film Festival on September 2, 2021, and was released on November 19, 2021, in theaters and on HBO Max. It was previously scheduled to be released on November 25, 2020, but it was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The film was chosen to close the AFI Fest on November 14, 2021. That same day, it closed the New Orleans Film Festival's live screenings. By the end of its run, it will have also screened at film festivals in London, Chicago, Savannah, Miami, Indianapolis, Denver, Middleburg, Philadelphia, Sydney, Turin, and Morelia. The film will also open the 25th American Black Film Festival, ABFF, with President and General Manager Nicole Friday describing King Richard as a film that is a touchstone of ABFF's legacy of showcasing extraordinary black talent and inspiring storytelling reflecting the brilliance of diversity in Hollywood. The film will be released on Blu-ray and DVD February 8, 2022 by Warner Brothers. Home entertainment. The film will be also a 4K Ultra HD copies of the film will be released through Warner Archive Collection on February 8, 2022. Reception audience viewership. Samba TV reported to Deadline Hollywood that the film was streamed by 707,000 U.S. households on HBO Max in its first 3 days of release on the platform, with most of the viewers watching the film in a single sitting despite its runtime. In addition, it stated that 59% of the viewers were female and 54% African Americans. HBO Max Executive Vice President and General Manager Andy Forssell praised the movie for being watched without interruptions unlike other day-and-date titles, while Warner Brothers. Pictures Chairman and Chief Content Officer Toby Emmerich stated that the company was pleased with the film's initial streaming performance. It was streamed by nearly 2 million U.S. households by the end of its first 30 days on HBO Max. Box office. As of February 1, 2022, King Richard has grossed $14.9 million in the United States and Canada, and $17.3 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $32.2 million. In the United States and Canada, the film was released alongside Ghostbusters, Afterlife, and was projected to gross $8-10 million from 3,250 theaters in its opening weekend. The film made $1.9 million on its first day, and went on to debut to $5.7 million. The low figure was attributed to the 145-minute runtime, as well as the film's availability on HBO Max. The film made $4.8 million over the 5-day Thanksgiving frame, including $3.3 million, minus 33%, in its second weekend, finishing 7th. In its third weekend, the film earned $1.2 million, finishing 9th. King Richard dropped out of the box office top 10 in its fourth weekend, earning at least $500,000 and finishing 12th. Critical response on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 90% of 256 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 7.6/10. The website's critics' consensus reads, King Richard transcends sport biopic formulas with refreshingly nuanced storytelling, and a towering performance from Will Smith in the title role. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 76 out of 100, based on 53 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A on an A+ to F scale, while those at Post-Track gave it a 94% positive score, with 89% saying they would definitely recommend it. Kevin Marr of The Times gave the film 4/5 stars, writing, "A towering turn from Will Smith, his best since Ali and one of the year's great screen performances, defines nearly every frame of this film." Justin Chong of the Los Angeles Times described the film as an engrossing family drama that doubles as a sharp rethink of how a family operates within the overlapping, often overbearing spheres of race, class, sports, and celebrity. Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal criticized the film's length, but said that it was a sports movie that transcends itself without losing track of itself. Wendy Ide of The Guardian gave the film 4/5 stars, describing it as a crowd-pleasing biopic, and writing, "Smith is excellent, fully inhabiting the character in one of the only roles to date that has required him to fully shed his habitual gloss of Will Smith charm." Clarice Lowry of The Independent also praised Smith's performance, writing, "It's one of those impressive fusions between actor and character, which all comes across so effortlessly on-screen, but gives King Richard the lifeblood it needs to triumph as a film." K. Austin Collins of Rolling Stone wrote, "The movie's brightest burning idea, and it is sincerely moving, is that Richard, for his flaws, does what he does on behalf of the young black women he's raising. This rings true in real life and in fiction." Allegra Frank of Slate was more critical of the film, writing, "Venus and Serena Williams are the names we rightly remember, but King Richard remains fixated on the male bravado that pushed for them to get their names out there in the first place." Kyle Smith of National Review wrote that the film makes the sororal tennis champs seem almost incidental to their own rise to greatness. Jesse Hassinger of the AV Club gave the film a grade of C+, writing that it keeps enough of Richard's messy past off-screen to feel like a hagiography with a few concessions, rather than a true warts-and-all portrait. Accolades references external links official website King Richard at IMDb official screenplay.